Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Lincode captain for four, and Ram Sharma, captain Chianti, walking out of the umpire to conduct the toss.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is the big one. Welcome to the final of the Corporate Cricket League for 2022. The teams that are going to be announced tonight are Ford Motor Company and General Motors. We have here Nikhil Kanchan, who's the staple for Ford, and Rahul Sharma, the staple for GM. Is going to toss the line up in the air, and we see who goes ready. As a developer from GM, who's going to toss that line? It's the ball from Nikhil. And heads so Ford has won the toss. So the news note here is Ford have won the toss and they elected to bat. Is that the decision you were always wanting? Not changing the winning formula, right? So not changing the winning formula, but any change in the winning team? Well, thank you very much. Take very good back to the game. Going first, is that something you would want to do, or are you also going to toss back to the strangers? It works like sort of a said that 2 players for winning the toss on that. It's really the game tonight. So, any changes in your squad for the second round? One thumbs up. Good luck to both captains and your teams as well. So, like we said, votes on the toss and then I first.
At the time, ladies and gentlemen, we ask both teams to line up in preparation for the national anthem.
Okay, yes, let's wait for the start of the match.
I'm Ankur Ganguly. I am from General Motors. I'm here to support both the teams and this game here. It's really awesome to see this growing here in Michigan and such an activity. So I'm privileged to be part of it and wishing both of the teams best of luck and best of play today.
Hello, this is Vijay from Lincode. Lincode would like to wish both the teams good luck and a safe play.
Thank you very much, Ankur, as well as Vijay. It's our privilege to present the praise to the lovely occasion. And it's a time, let's celebrate.
Hello. Hello. Testing.
At this time, we have 14 to line up the preparation for the national anthem. Your forward company captain, number 71, captain, number 80, Sandeep Sharma, number 77, Raj Patel, number 83, Vaiva Panda, number 72, Sandoz Ramasamy, number 73, Ayub Singh, number 81, Archit Singh, number 74, Amaraj Reddy, number 79, Vladimir Tavares, number 76, Sandesh Kumar Yasin, number 82, Kaifur Akbar, number 85, Amaran Raviwala, number 78, Surya Chagda, number 75, Krish Desai, and last, number 83, Josh Patel. And your starting lineup for your general members, your captain, number 22, Rahul Sharma, number 20, Chano Ahmed, number 15, Aditya Aikal, number 12, Arun Bhaskar, number 16, Sajid Shahid, number 29, Jigar Kapadia, number 25, Brendan Kalushin, number 24, Manish Kadare, number 21, Naresh Vayanagari, number 19, Akash Kaluji, number 11, Praveen Chowdhury, number 18, Lavanya Vedanta, number 13, Adhyat Bharia, number 23, Sandeep Bhatti, number 14, Vivek Anand Sundar. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your caps as the national anthem will be sung by Karen Lincode. Oh, say, can you see my love was so proudly here, like those last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watch will surround me streaming, and melodies in the singing, gay people through the night, down off night silver. Oh, say does that stars sparkle, oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Good evening. Welcome to this Jimmy John's Field, where we are having the Corporate Cricket League 2022 finals. Today the final between GM and Ford. For the benefit of our viewers, Ford won the toss and elected to bat.
Yes, a very good evening to one and all watching this live feed. This is the final of the Corporate Cricket League for 2022. Ford Motor Company and General Motors facing off in this biggest of them all clash in this tournament. This is Avinash Raghu. Joining me here in the commentary box is Arun. We've done a few stints together, Arun, so I'm sure we're going to have some fun tonight, aren't we?
Definitely. So welcome viewers. So Ford winning the toss here, electing to bat.
And you can see here on the screen the squad for General Motors: Shahnawaz, Aditya Aital, Rahul Sharma, their skipper. We have Arun Bhaskar, Sajid Sheikh, the leg spinner, Kuldeep Kalushe, Manish Khartare, Praveen Chaudhary, he's probably the wicket keeper, Radhang Adhyarthvarya, Vivekanandam Shanmugasundaram, and Akash Nambudri, who typically opens the bowling for General Motors. The opening batsmen for Ford are going to be Amarendra Nuwala and Vaibhav Khanna.
I think it's Avinash getting ready to bowl the first over. I mean Shahnawaz.
Looks like it's going to be Akash probably.
Okay.
Opening the bowling, Shahnawaz, the guy with the gloves.
Okay.
Your on-field umpires tonight are going to be Sundaresh Ram and Karthik Raghupati. Shivarajesh Mokapati is going to be the third umpire. And in a novel feature, we actually have the DRS for this particular game.
Yes.
So umpire Shiva is going to be helming the state-of-the-art facility here to adjudicate either in favor or against the batsman. Vinil Dusa is match referee.
So this 10-over game, first 2 overs power play. Par score had been around 100 runs in the earlier league matches and the semi-finals.
Umpires ready to get started. Call the batsmen.
Announce the batsman.
We already announced the batsman's name.
You couldn't hear it.
And our opening batsman for Motors, number 85, Amarendra Nuwala, number 83, Vaibhav Khanna.
Palpable sense of excitement here at the Jimmy John's Field in Utica, Michigan. Let's play is the call. The countdown involving players from both sides. Now the novelty for this evening. Pretty big crowd here today for this final game.
Amarendra facing the first delivery here, down the leg.
Yes, that first one from Akash Nambutri fired down the leg side, wide, called by umpire Karthik Raghupati, standing at the top end for this first over. 10 over shootout this, so it promises to be a lot of fun. As that one compensated for by Akash, bowling slightly wide off the off stump. Batsman Amarendra wisely letting that one go. But I can assure you, with just a 60 ball game, there's not going to be too many leaves. Driven down to long off. Fielder coming around, just a single.
Side. 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 Don't zoom in too much because of the net.
Always a relief for the batsman to get off the mark in a big game. Will ease the butterflies in his stomach a bit. Most of these players though have played at a pretty decent level, but the setup and the atmosphere here today, a complete notch above what we've seen here in Michigan, hasn't it been, Arun?
Definitely. A lot of excitement in this stadium here in Utica. Crowd coming in here in good numbers. So the left-handed batsman Viber on strike now.
Nicely bowled there, right on line. Weber still managing to fend that one off to the leg side to get off the mark himself. Weber coming off a century in a game that he played yesterday, so he'll feel that he's in good nick. Albeit a touch sore, possibly. Oh, good delivery there. All foxing Amar into trying to attempt a big shot, but the length just a tad too good for Amar to make contact.
Amarendra, known for his big hitting, had got a good 50 in one of the league games.
Well bowled there again by Akash, cramping up the batsman for room, not allowing him to get away. Yes, indeed, Arun, that's a good point. Amar is known for his big hitting. In fact, his nickname is Amarendra Bahubali, largely because of his power hitting.
Stature also.
Had a good over so far, only 3. And finishes it off well. And no run conceded off the last ball. A bit of a sedate start here for Ford. 3 for no loss at the end of the first over. Good one by Akash.
A lot of room given that time. Had the opportunity to put it away. Misses it. So fast-paced game. They need to move on. They have to take advantage of this 2 power play overs.
Aditya Aital is going to be sharing the new ball with Akash for General Motors. Such an interesting dynamic this, isn't it? The 10-over game. There's absolutely no time to... Usually the mantra for batsmen is to just take their time, settle in, get their eye in. That's pretty much gone out the window in this format. Lovely facilities here at the Jimmy John Stadium in Utica. Big crowd in here today for this final game. Lots of kids as well. As he starts off with a wide as well. Slightly delayed signal there, but signaled wide nonetheless by umpire Sundaresh Ram. It's such a pleasure to see kids attend these games. That is the future of the game right here, isn't it?
So loud appeal from the bowler. So I think Ford need to move on now. Already we are in the second over. Just 4 for no loss.
Fired that one wide again. Aditya probably trying a touch too hard, trying to get some pace on the ball. He can be quite quick, Aditya Aital. But of course, before pace, he needs to get his line and lengths right. Game of cricket here adapted for playing on a baseball diamond. Interesting angles here for both the fielding side and the batsman. Wild swing across the line there from Vaibhav, not making any contact. Reminds me of Eden Park in Auckland, New Zealand. Also a ground known for its weird hexagonal shape almost. Just the one fielder out at long on. Well bowled. That ball moving out as well. The batsman wondering if it was a tad too wide, but umpire Ram doesn't quite agree. Good bounce and carry on this pitch here at Jimmy John's field. That one slightly fuller and driven through extra cover and pulled back just before the boundary.
Good effort in the field there.
A little comedy of errors there down on the extra cover boundary, but good tag team efforts nonetheless from the GM fielders. Nice and full there on the offside, allowing Vaibhav to free his arms and drive that through extra cover. It'll be a new experience this for the players as well, trying to adapt to the unusual shape of this particular field. Have to be extremely cognizant of the angles involved. As Amar tries to pull off an agricultural heave across the line, but not making any contact whatsoever.
Batsmen are definitely making efforts but unable to contact.
Both these bowlers are trusting the carry offered by the pitch. As you see there, that one again pitched on a length, not quite short enough, probably hurrying a tad bit onto Amar, not quite able to connect that pull. Single down to long on.
So end of the over, 9 without loss after the power play overs.
Just think you talking because I turned off the cam mics so they can hear whatever you're talking. So your mic is on.
This music.
No, that will not pick up with the speaker. This is TV viewers.
So instructions going there, Avinash, along with the drinks for the batsman.
Yes, in this 10 over game, I guess there is really no time, so there'll probably be a little sense of urgency conveyed there. Santosh Ramaswamy, man running out with the water and the advice. Akash continuing for his second over. He'll be quite happy with what he did first up. He'll be looking to replicate that.
A well spread out field. We are out of the power play overs. We have, I think, 4 fielders on the boundary now.
Yes, a mid wicket and a long on the leg side, long off and extra cover on the off. As that one was banged and shot, pulled away by Amar and beautifully taken by the fielder on the mid-wicket fence, running around almost to deep backward square leg and pouching that one safely. So huge wicket there for General Motors. The Bahubali himself, Amarendra Nuwala, dismissed cheaply, going for just 2, courtesy of a wonderful catch down at square leg.
What a catch that was. Covered almost 15 yards to his left and picked up that. I beg your pardon, to his right, and picked up a wonderful catch. You can see from the replay the catch being taken.
Yes, the fielder there covered good ground.
So Amarendra out for just 2 of 8 deliveries.
Our next batter, jersey number 77,
Kuldeep Kalushe was the fielder there. That magnificent catch to dismiss the very dangerous Amar. Next man in for Ford is Vraj Patel. Vraj, of course, has been plying his trade for the St. Louis Americans in the US Minor League this season.
In this semi-final too, Ford were a bit of bother in the earlier overs, but their captain Nikhil pulled them out. It's 9 for 1 in the third over.
Akash Nambudri will have his tail well and truly up. After the wonderful first over, conceding just 3, he's picked up a dangerous batsman first up. Loud shout there, was that? Oh, and it's been given as well! So yet another strike by Akash Nambudri, second wicket down for Ford. Vaibhav Khanna, the centurion from yesterday in a different game, today going cheaply. So that's Will there be a twist in the tail because the batsmen have not decided to review, looks like.
Our next batsman, captain, number 5,
There might have been a little bit of a doubt there in the mind of the batsman as to whether that pitched outside the line of leg stump. Always a possibility with the right armour coming over the wicket to the left-hander, but doesn't quite seem so.
Looked, it pitched on the middle and off and then moved in. The batsman trying to play across, got plumb in front.
Yes,
Good decision by the umpire there.
Umpire Raghupati having absolutely no hesitation, adjudicating LBW on that occasion. That brings to the crease one of the brightest stars of Michigan cricket, Nikhil Kanchan, who joins his partner at the St. Louis Americans, also here at Ford Motor Company for this evening. Akash Nambudri now on a hat-trick, and he runs in for the hat-trick ball. Safely defended away and getting off the mark with his first delivery, Nikhil Kanchan there. Immediately a sense of excitement here in this game. 2 early wickets lost by Ford. Large crowd in here tonight, anticipating a thrilling game, and boy, they've certainly got off to a thrilling start here tonight. Yet again, not giving too much room, just flicked away off his pads for a single.
So what a wonderful start for GM.
Can you imagine, Arun, coming in to face your first ball in a final and that turns out to be a hat-trick ball? Just getting a tad too carried away there, Akash, probably. Putting that one down the leg side, wide called by the umpire. Nicely hit away over mid-wicket for boundary. That'll do him a world of confidence.
Very well placed into that gap there, Avinash. Man at deep mid-wicket, played wide off him. So in the last game too, Nikhil showing his cricketing brain here, playing into the gaps.
Akash just banging that one in short. Nikhil Kanchan, too good a batsman to not take advantage of that. Fuller on that occasion, a hint of away swing. The batsman a bit exasperated as to why that wasn't called a wide. It was dangerously close to that wide line.
The line belongs to the umpire.
Indeed.
So end of the third over. 16 for 2. Ford here.
Yes, General Motors having an initial stranglehold on the proceedings. Good initial spell by Akash and Aditya. It'll be interesting to see if Aditya continues. It's probably just 2 overs per bowler, isn't it, Arun?
Yeah, only 2 overs per bowler.
tactics do you discuss as a captain, Arun? It's a 10-over game. How much can you really strategize in
The
this?
last match in semi-final also, they had their backs to the wall. It was Hardeep who hit a quick fire 30 odd runs, who pulled them out of the deep trouble, and they could post 100.
Scores 16 runs for the loss of 2 wickets.
Yes, Hardeep Singh is known for coming in such situations and completely changing the game with his power hitting. A lot of these players plying their wares across multiple tournaments in Michigan. Almost all of them are very familiar names to those of us in the cricket circles here.
Now Nikhil needs to continue, keep rotating the strike, and let the other batsmen go for that big shots. Just 7 overs remaining. So as I told you, 100 runs is the pass score on this field. We have been watching so many league games. GM2 has some big hitters. We have seen in one of the games against Continental, Shanawaz scoring a 16 ball 50.
Wow. Yes, Shanawaz is known for his aggressive batting, but that is quite a remarkable statistic by any means. Yes, it does seem like a pretty fast outfield as well. The grass cut much lower than most of the other fields on which cricket matches happen here in Michigan. Of course, ground shots are probably a secondary consideration when it's just a 60 legal ball game. Most of the times the batsmen are probably looking to sail well clear of the boundary.
A slight hold up in the play here. I think there's having some problems with the matting. They're tightening it.
Yes, mat stretched out across the sandy surface here of the baseball diamond. I was quite intrigued initially when I saw this setup, Arun. I was wondering whether there'll be some uncertain bounce, but looks like there's some true bounce and good carry through to the wicketkeeper on the surface.
Definitely, whoever is putting a little effort, definitely it's bouncing off from that Goodland spot.
An effort is something you won't see a shortage of from either of these bowlers. Aditya continuing there. Quick single taken by the batsman. No protection. Close in on the leg side in front of the wicket for Aditya Aital.
Adyarth has been good in this tournament so far, bowling wicket to wicket, picking up some crucial wickets.
Yes, correction. Adhyarth Varya, the bowler, replacing Aditya. Starting off well, both his opening deliveries have been right on target. Quick single there again, putting pressure on the fielder.
Change in the field. Fine luck fielder going to deep mid wicket, and point coming into fine leg.
A slightly lax effort there by Akash in the field at cover. Probably a bit tired after bowling those 2 overs, not quite able to bend down in time to stop the ball.
But good understanding from the batsman. The moment they saw a little fumble, they immediately took that second run.
Nicely bowled again. Quick run
Gone.
there. And Nikhil scampering through. Shahnawaz probably could have stood behind the stumps there. Nikhil was still well in. Yes, both of these batsmen have played together quite a bit together, so you would think they have pretty good understanding. The thing that I'm intrigued by is the number of fielders he has on the leg side boundary, Adhyarth. He's been quite consistently keeping the ball outside off stump on a fuller length, as you see on that occasion. Oh dear, and Vraj has gotten himself into almost all sorts of trouble, but making his ground there, much to the relief of the Ford camp and the supporters here in the audience as well. That would have been disastrous for Ford, losing another wicket, that too to a needless run out.
Absolutely, there was no run there at all. Straight to the fielder.
Number 69, Sajid Sheikh. Jersey number 16, Sajid Sheikh from General Motors.
And our next bowler for General Motors, number 16, Sajid Sheikh.
Sajid Sheikh, the leg spinner, now coming into the attack. Quite a character he is, Sajid. Extremely talented cricketer, never quite afraid to
Cameraman there
take on the
also.
batsman.
Cameraman focusing on the commentary team here. Thank you, cameraman.
Hey, Pawan, what they specifically need, is it a cut or ice?
Yeah, is it a cut? Yeah, he's bleeding. I guess it's a cut.
Yeah, I did, it's a cut. He's bleeding. It's a cut, yeah. Rahul Sharma is bleeding.
Just a touch short there by Sajid, but not quite short enough for the batsman to get away. Just a single on that occasion.
But runs coming only in singles. Will that help the cause of Ford? Already in the 5th over. 22 for 2.
So that will be the dilemma facing Nikhil, the skipper, out there. As that one's been cut away. Awkward bounce there for Akash. Not quite able to cut that one off as the ball races across this very quick outfield for a 4 at deep point.
What a beautiful shot played that from Nikhil. Got an opportunity. Room given outside the off stick. Pouncing on it this time. Nikhil.
Gets into position very, very quickly, Nikhil. That's often the secret of his success. That little extra nanosecond that he gains by gauging the line and length quickly and getting into position. As he cuts that one away on the offside again, just a single this time. Action down there on the deep point boundary for Sajid. Slightly more air given on that occasion, beating the batsman. He's a good bowler, Sajid. He's never afraid to try a thing or two.
This time goes
As that
across.
one's been swung away to the leg side. Will this make the fence? Not quite. Batsman coming back for a couple. Errant with his line on that occasion, Sajid. Although for the length of that delivery, he might be quite happy that it ended up being a wide. Beautifully bowled there. Gave it a bit more of a tweak on that occasion, along with some air, beating Vraj. 5 overs gone, 30 for the loss of 2 wickets. Ford.
So halfway mark, they're just 30 for 2. Two more instructions going in. Now they need to move on. Just 5 more overs remaining for Ford. Just 30 on the board now. I think somebody has to take chances now. Okay, let Nickel play his cricketing shots, but from the other end, some fire rolls are required.
Yes, knowing the two, I would expect Nikhil to play the anchor role, if you can even call it as such in this format of the game. Raj more than likely to be the aggressor amongst the two. But both these batsmen more than capable of pulling out the big shots when required. Lights on here at the Jimmy Johns field. Always a lovely sight to watch. Cricket under lights.
What an atmosphere here in this final of the CCL 2022.
Some of the loudest cheers here coming from some of the younger members of the audience here. We have plenty of kids as Adhyarth continues. Swing across the line, quite an ungainly shot there. And not a usual one from Nikhil Kanchan. Srinivas, the keeper, desperately determined to put some part of this body behind the ball. As that one was slightly short, and that's been taken to the cleaners as the umpire signals a 6. So as you said, Arun, it is time to get a move on, and the captain seems to be moving from the front in trying to do that.
A beautiful shot that. Waited on it. Took his time, pulled it over mid-deep mid-wicket for the first 6 of the match. This time trying to go across, misses it completely. Charge down. Leg by signal there.
Sets pretty high standards for himself, Nikhil Kanchan, quite miffed at missing out on that opportunity. Absolutely no margin for error here whatsoever for the bowler. As this one's been swung away on the offside. Valiant attempt by the fielder on the extra cover boundary, but not quite able to make the catch, but good job recovering there and keeping the batsman to a couple.
What an attempt that from the fielder there. Diving full length to his left.
Oh, that one was right in the slot and been hammered high in the air. For a moment I thought it's going to hit the screen over there, but falling just short of it. Yet another maximum, this time off the bat of Raj Patel. So Ford looking to get a move on here, Arun.
Yeah. So good second 6 of the over.
As we get the word from down on the field that that ball has literally been hit out of the park. It's a phrase we often use figuratively, but on this occasion it's quite literally been hit out of the stadium. Huge 6 there by Vraj. That one was right in the slot. Rahul Sharma, the skipper, going over and having a few words with the bowler. One more ball left in the over. He has to do well to just hold his nerve, maybe not give the batsman any room and maybe pull the length back slightly.
So one more ball remaining. Already 15 runs scored in this over. So ball retrieved. All is set now. Last ball of the 6th over coming up. 45 for 2.
Never a good feeling when you've conceded so many. And that's not going to make Adhyarth feel any better at all, because that one's been swung out of the ground yet again, this time over square leg. So excellent over there for Ford, not so much for General Motors, and Adhyarth would be relieved that that over has come to a close.
So 21 runs taken of that over from Adhyarth. So good over for Ford. So 50 comes up for Ford now. So 6 overs. After 6 overs is 51 for 2. So suddenly the score from 30 has moved to 51 for 2 now. What a good over for Ford.
Yes, some of the ground staff here being kept busier than the outfielders, courtesy of the Ford batsman. Raj Patel seeing that one being dropped short, settling himself nicely on his haunches and swinging that one comprehensively across the line. 51 for 2. Sajid Sheikh continuing. Michael Kanchan trying to get a measure of the field. He is standing well outside leg stump, probably looking to go with the turn over extra cover as Sajid tries to follow him. That one didn't sound quite that good off the bat. Well fielded there by the fielder at long on, but that was enough time for the batsman to scamper back for a second.
It was a full toss, but no timing there.
Following the batsman there again, Sajid not giving enough room. Just a single. And they won't mind that, GM. They'd be quite happy. Restrict the batsman to singles. Wide spread out field here. Absolutely no protection inside the circle at all in front of the wicket on either side. As that one has been taken on and deposited right behind the bowler's arm for a boundary. Beautiful shot there. The long on quite wide and the long off not straight enough either, so quite a big gap there for Vraj to take advantage of, and he duly did that on that occasion. Oh dear, and so often you see that from bowlers who have come in for a little bit of stick, that they start trying a bit too much, which is what Sajid did there on that occasion. Wide. Much better this time from Sajid, full and straight.
Batsman trying to go across. This is it. Taken by the keeper.
As that one has been skied as well, fielder coming across from long off as well as long on, but falls right in the middle of the two. Couple of runs taken again there by the batsman. So Vraj just struggling a bit with his timing. Mercifully a big gap there.
Oh,
Innovative from Vraj, pulls out the reverse sweep there. Very, very good job done there by the fielder. It's never easy to field on the sand. The ball just tends to pitch and scoot through, but the fielder down there following the basics, bringing his body behind the ball.
Batsmen upset with themselves not to have got a boundary that time. Anyhow, still 11 runs coming out that over. So end of 7 overs, it is 62 for 2. 3 more overs remaining in this 4th innings. Last 2 overs have been fruitful for Ford, scoring 33 runs. Timeout, tragic timeout taken. And Nickel batting on 20. Three more overs to come. 62 for 2.
And our new number 20,
Yes, Shanawaz there, relinquishing the gloves and the pads in exchange for the ball. Quite nippy off the surface, provided he makes contact with the surface, which he doesn't. Full toss delivered for his first delivery. That's been duly dispatched over the square leg fence for another huge 6. What a shot!
So Vraj Patel getting into his groove now. Goes to 35 from just 16 deliveries. 68 for 2 now.
Yes,
Will they get
Vraj.
to that 100?
Certainly looks like a possibility if they continue in the same vein. Vraj has raced to 35 all of a sudden.
What a
Just 16
partnership this has been.
They are the marquee players for Ford, and they are truly living up to their top billing as Shanawaz runs in again. wide outside off stump, and that's been slammed over the sweeper boundary for yet another 6. So Shahnawaz struggling to find his rhythm here. Both his first 2 deliveries have been dispatched on either sides of the ground for 6s.
There's a lot of room given outside the off stick. Taking full advantage of that wide delivery outside the off stick. Frees his arms. Once again, ball going out of the playing area. Waiting for the ball to be retrieved.
Right, so he's bowled 1 full on leg stump, 1 short outside the off stump. Needs to find the average somewhere in between on this third on this third delivery. Of course, easy for us to be sitting here in this nice air-conditioned, well-lit commentary box. Oh dear, that one was an edge, but going safely over the infield. No protection there on the third man boundary, so that's a 4. So already 6-6-4. Shahnawaz coming in for some severe treatment here by Vraj.
So Vraj Patel moves to 45.
Full, and that's been skied. The bowler calling it himself and takes it comfortably as well. So some measure of redemption for Shahnawaz Ahmed, having been slammed for 16 of his first 3 deliveries. He comes back and dismisses Vraj, who goes just shy of his half century. But is it already a case of damage done, Arun?
Definitely, but that's Kaya, such a difficult catch to be taken under lights. Bowler himself taking upon him. Takes a well judged catch, running almost to the square leg area. So Vraj Patel dismissed for 45 of just 19 deliveries. Cotton bowl Shahnawaz. So the main distractor of the semi-finals walks to the middle, Hardeep Singh.
Yes, that name walking out there isn't going to provide much comfort for Shahnawaz, because it's out. If out goes one hitter, in comes an even bigger hitter. They've played a lot of cricket together, these two guys, Shahnawaz and Hardeep, finding themselves now on opposite sides.
But luckily for him, Nikhil on strike now. No, Hardeep on strike.
Actually, it is Nikhil. Scorecard yet to update on the screen as Hardeep calls for a second.
He's given
And oh dear me, what an absolute tragedy for Ford. Just as we were extolling his big hitting capabilities, what does Hardeep Singh do? Decides to run himself out without even having faced a delivery. So tragedy here for Ford Motor Company. Great joy amongst the GM players and the supporters.
What a funny game of cricket this is. A lot of expectations on Hardeep without facing a delivery, walking back to the pavilion. What a throw that was straight on top of the bails. Bowler had to just collect it and flip the bails off.
One-handed pickup and throw there by Sajid Sheikh, running in from the extra cover boundary. Wonderful cricket there.
So Hardeep the man dismissed, out without scoring, run out without facing a ball.
Abhilash Reddy, the next man in for Ford Motor Company. He'll of course be on the non-striker's end. He also knows only one way to bat, that is attack, as Shanawaz steams in. Edge again, down to third man. This time there is a fielder doing the mop-up job. Just a single for Nikhil Kanchan as that over comes to an end. Expensive one yet again, but a successful one nonetheless, having gotten rid of two dangerous batsmen in that over.
So 80 for 4 now. 2 overs remaining in this 4th innings.
Plenty of batting still to come here for Ford, considering there's only 2 overs remaining, so every ball is probably going to be an attempt at a big hit now, as Aditya Aital comes back. Conceded just 6 in his first over. Some of the other fellows that followed him all bowled good first overs but were clobbered in the second. Let's see if Aditya can buck that trend. That one hit over, and Sajid coming in but not quite able to make the catch. Sigh of relief there amongst the Ford contingent and their supporters in the crowd, Arun.
Yeah. So Nikhil survives, bowling just, I think it got into his hands and then popped out. So lucky for Ford.
Yes, I think you'll see on the replay that Sajid probably just put himself down on the ground a tad bit too early there. Not quite judging that catch. Excellent delivery there. What a ball to bowl at this stage of the innings. On a good length, moving just a little bit off the seam away from the batsman through to the keeper. Goes to show that no matter what format and what stage, the fundamentals still hold true. Pitch on a length on the seam, just outside off stump. New batsman prodding tentatively there. Flash. Wild swing across the line, just inside the wide line. Good tactics here by Aditya.
So captain moving across, having a word with the striker Abhilash Reddy, giving him some tips. 2 dot balls and just a single of the first delivery of a drop catch.
That one going off the shoulder to short third man. Just a single.
So gives strike to his captain now. Just 2 deliveries remaining in this over. And 1 more over to come after this.
What an over this has been so far. Only 2 conceded. As that one moved in noticeably there. And oh dear, there was a chance for a second, but Nikhil, unfortunately for him, slipping at the non-striker's end. Abhilash having to quickly scramble back into the crease. Final ball of this over. What can Abhilash try and do? Swing and a miss there again. So excellent over there.
Just 2 runs. 1 leg back. So just 3 runs coming off that over. What an over for GM. 83 for 4. Just 1 over remaining in this 4th innings.
Yes, an absolutely brilliant spell there by Aditya Aital, keeping proceedings very, very tight once at the top of the innings. Another one towards the business end. Shahnawaz Ahmed being entrusted by GM to bowl the final over of the innings.
So the captain Nikhil calling for his long handle. Wanted a change in the bat. We'll have to wait and see. 83 for 4. Final over of the innings coming. Shahnawaz the bowler.
Right, so we're nicely set up for the final over. Good delivery there by Shahnawaz,
for the
keeping it
second run.
full.
Once again slips.
Oh dear, full length dive there by Nikhil. Shahnawaz trying to pull the bat out of the crease, or at least up in the air in jest. Indicative of the good spirit that the two teams share out there in the middle. Oh dear, huge appeal by the bowler and given by the umpire. Yes, I don't think there was much doubt there. Those of us in the commentary box, pretty well placed right behind the batsman. You would think that was pretty plumb, wouldn't you, Arun?
Yes, definitely. Abhilash Reddy never tried a big swing.
And the next batsman walking for 4. Number 72, Santosh Ramaswamy.
You can see from the replay, absolutely right in front.
As we have a delightful young visitor here in the commentary box. The cameraman would do well to focus on the box now. He got some rather unglamorous shots of just us commentators earlier.
So Abhilash Reddy dismissed for a duck of 5 balls. So Santosh, the new batsman,
Yes, Santosh
with just 4
Ramaswamy.
more deliveries to come in this 4th innings, 84 for 5.
Yes, Santosh Ramaswamy walking in with just 4 deliveries left. There's really nothing much you can do other than just go for it from ball 1. Batsmen, I'm sure, are going to run for everything. And manages to make contact. He's been in good touch this year, Santosh Ramaswamy, and is evidenced by that shot he played, coming back for a second. And those on the boundary would be on their toes. At this stage and in this format, you just have to anticipate that every single ball is going to come to you. Change of pace there by Shahnawaz. Fielder perfectly placed at the backward square leg boundary. Lovely return right on top of the bails back to the wicketkeeper. Just a single there. So much better showing by Shahnawaz in this second over of his.
Definitely. Just considered 4 runs so far and picked up a wicket. Just 2 more deliveries to come.
Because that one has been slammed over straight to the fielder Sajid, who makes an absolute meal of it and causes it to be parried over the boundary. The batsman entreating with the umpire that that one should be signalled 6. And
Boundary declared.
rightfully signalled 4 by the umpire Sundaresh Ram. That one was slammed flat and hard. Good attempt there by the fielder, but honestly at this stage of the innings you have to take those. The umpire is just checking there to make sure it is a big occasion.
So
It is the final.
91 for 5 now. Final delivery coming up. Nikhil on strike, 29 from 19 deliveries.
As Shahnawaz runs in there again, not making good contact on that
Definitely.
occasion either. As the batsmen come back for a second again. So oh dear, some fun there happening, all in good spirit, but nonetheless, run out of the final delivery of the innings. So at the end of those amidst all that fun and just some confusion up here in the commentary box as
So
to what exactly
93.
happened.
93 for 5.
So Ford Motor Company ending up at 93 for the loss of half their side at the end of their allotted 10 overs. They'd be pretty happy with where they've reached considering the horror start that they had earlier in the evening.
So Nikhil.
Score is 93 runs.
Yep.
And GM needs 94 to win.
So Nikhil Kanchan not out 31. Huh?
Yes, Nikhil Kanchan there playing a captain's knock, staying there till the very end,
Yeah.
finishing up on 31. Vraj Patel, of course, the fulcrum of that innings with his 45, scoring almost half.
Yeah, of
The
just
team
19
total?
deliveries.
I think Ford will take the 93 that they've gotten. It is a pretty competitive total based on what we've seen in some of the other
Yeah.
games, isn't it, Arun?
Now GM looks up to their opening pair, particularly Shahnawaz, to get to that total of 94, the target set by Ford. So we'll be taking a break now. We'll be back in a short while, 10 minutes to be precise. So please stay tuned and watch that exciting chase by GM.
Yeah, please ask Akshay to
And always starting batsman for General Motors, number 20, Charlie Schmidt. And number 18, Steve Duncan.
Ten overs. Pratanga and Shanawaz the batsman. Sandeep the bowler.
As Ford resorting to left arm spin to start off proceedings in the form of Sandeep Sivaram. Very capable left arm spinner. Not an easy proposition to deal with, as the batsman Shanawaz found out on that occasion, edging that one to short third man to be dismissed for a duck. So what a breakthrough here for Ford. Vaibhav Khanna at short third man, making absolutely no mistake there.
So what a start for Ford, getting their hard-hitting batsman Shanawaz out. Second delivery of the innings. Shanawaz out, caught it short third man without scoring. He was dismissed without scoring in the semi-finals too. So Ford will be relieved in getting that Shanawaz out without scoring. So none for none. The first over. So Sandeep picking up first wicket. Shanawaz cut by bowled Sandeep.
Next man in is skipper Rahul Sharma. Bit of a shock there for GM. The hard-hitting Shanawaz, always an asset in these shorter formats of the game, being dismissed for a golden duck of the very first ball of the innings. The captain now has it on his shoulders to stem any anxiety, but oh dear, not quite succeeding in doing that. Adjudicated stumped very first ball. So what a nightmarish start there for GM, and joy out on the field for Ford. Sandeep slightly tossing that one up, drawing Rahul Sharma into a false stroke and causing him to drag his back foot outside of the crease. Nikhil Kanchan, the keeper, making absolutely no mistake, whipping the bails off in a flash. None for two, General Motors, and in deep trouble.
So Rahul Sharma, captain dismissed. First ball he faced, stumped by Sandeep. Off Sandeep. So what a dream start for Ford. Not a very good one for GM. Chasing 94 here. 0 for 2 in the first over of the innings. Sandeep picking up 2 quick wickets without conceding a run. So what a great captaincy from Nikhil there, bringing in a left-arm slow bowler and picking up 2 crucial wickets. The very first over.
Oh, hat-trick averted there successfully by Aditya Aital. What an occasion and what a moment in the game to front up to your first ball. Final of the Corporate Cricket League. Bowler on a hat-trick. Successfully fended away by the batsman. Beautifully bowled there yet again. They will be quite relieved to get down to the non-striker's end. And GM off the mark there, 1 for 2. What an eventful first over this has been. Vadang, the new batsman to face for GM. Nervously prodded forward there to end that magnificent opening over by Sandeep. Just 1 run conceded and 2 wickets picked up off the very first 2 deliveries of that over. Ford couldn't have asked for a better start there.
So that 1 run to a leg by given, so that means it's made in 2 wickets.
Abhilash now comes into the attack for Ford. So Ford entrusting the opening spell to spinners in contrast to GM that both relied on pace. Their first spell. Abhilash right arm off spin. Tends to give the ball a little bit of air on most occasions, barring the occasional snorter that he tries to push through. Long off in position. And lots happening out there on the field. A bit of a false shot from the batsman. Some interest shown by the non-striker in trying to come through, but then he slipped and fell midway. The throw was at the wrong end, unfortunately, for Ford. So no damage done at the end of that, but it's all happening here. Both these batsmen yet to get off the mark.
Still no run from the bat in this innings from GM.
GM matching Ford in having a disastrous start to their innings. They do well to keep their cool, GM, at this stage. As that one's been swung away to the fine leg boundary for the first 4 of this innings. That will come as a huge relief to the batsman and the General Motors dugout. Abhilash firing that one down the leg side, and Aditya just helping it through on its way to the fine leg fence. Young kids in the crowd there, all on the edge of their seats. Lovely to watch. As that one was slightly short as well, pulled away, and yet another boundary, this time on the square leg fence. No protection there whatsoever. Abhilash dropping it short on middle and leg, and despite the fact that that wasn't the best timing the batsman could have gotten, still gets full value for it.
So 2 good boundaries picked up by GM Aditya. So now a man being placed at square leg boundary.
Yes, probably a good ploy there. 10 over game, there's really not much time to experiment or wait to get your line and lengths right. Will set the fields for the bad ball. Slightly fuller and quicker on that occasion. Swing across the line. Aditya grimacing, probably from a combination of having missed out on the shot and a little ping from the ball as well. Wild swing there, the batsman throwing his head up well before the ball had even reached him. And those of us that have played the game for a while know that that's always a sure shot recipe for not making any contact between bat and ball, as it was on that occasion. End of the over, just the 2 boundaries there. GM 9 for the loss of 2 wickets. Bit more productive than the first over there.
New bowler, jersey number 76, Sahesh Kumar Vasan.
Sahesh Vasan, the left arm seamer, now coming into the attack for 4. He's a good bowler, Sahesh. He bowls with the new ball, equally adept with the old too. Although not much scope for the ball to get old here, as we see the audience members frolicking, having a lot of fun here. Nice cool evening here in Utica, Michigan. Nice breeze blowing through the stands. Pleasant weather conditions, the night sky, the lights, colored clothing, white ball, food and beverages. What's not there to enjoy for the audience here? The top teams in the competition facing off for the big prize. That one dragged from well outside off, just a single down to mid-on. Might have been called a wide had the batsman left that alone, don't you think?
striking onto the onside from the offside that time. So Radanga opens his account with that single.
That one seemed like it was in the slot, but it's a miss hit. It's been skied and beautifully taken there by the keeper. He was swirling around underneath the ball as it was swirling up in the sky, but nonetheless manages to take it safely. So yet another big hitting batsman goes cheaply and too early for GM's liking. Aditya Aital, the man dismissed for just 8, caught by the keeper Nikhil Kanchan off the bowling of Sahesh. So Sahesh immediately having an impact as well.
Disaster start for GM, losing 3 quick wickets here, 10 for 3 now. Going for a big swing, just stoppaging it. Keeper getting it under it. Takes a very well judged catch. So GM in deep trouble now.
Crowd getting into the act here. Some support for General Motors there, trying to perk the dugout up. 3 down with just 10 on the board. There's got to be some nerves in the General Motors camp. Still plenty of batting to come. Praveen, the new batsman, taking guard. Sahesh runs in for his next delivery. Well ball there again. Batsman again attempting not the shot that he is playing now or practicing now in the air, but instead going for an ungainly slog first up, which is rarely a good idea. Beautiful delivery yet again there, just moving slightly away. Better intent from the batsman on that occasion, trying to just guide the ball onto the offside, but not succeeding in making contact. Excellent over this from Sahesh thus far. 4 balls gone, just the 1 run. Also picked up the wicket. Great opening spell thus far by the 4 bowlers, as that one flies off the outside edge towards third man. 1 bounce over the fence for 4. So much needed release shot there for Radanga as well.
This time edging it wide over the point boundary. So welcome runs for GM. 14 for 3. Lot of crowd support for them. It's time for the batsmen to put their heads down.
Sahesh wouldn't mind that boundary. Didn't come off a very convincing shot. However, that one a lot more convincing, absolutely no doubt about it. That one was in the slot at a gentle medium pace, and Radang, having gotten his eye in a little bit, had absolutely no trouble dispatching that over long on for a huge 6. Huge sigh of relief along with the cheers emanating from the General Motors dugout. As you see there on the replay, the eyes of the bowler tracking the trajectory of that ball, indicating how high that one went.
Can you send Kishore or somebody to retrieve that ball?
Some joy for the General Motors supporters in the audience.
So 20 for 3 now. End of that good over from Sahish. Though he conceded that 6 of the final delivery. GM requires such lusty blows to get to that target of 94. Already lost 3 quick wickets. The main hard-hitting batsman Shahnawaz, Rahul Sharma back in the pavilion. Aditya also back in the pavilion.
And our new bowler, number 85,
That's what makes it such a fascinating game, isn't it? Just 1 run on the wicket of the first ball, and then the final tally reads 11 off the over. Change in an instant. As Amarendra Niwala, the bowler himself, comes into bowling. Make much of an impact with the bat. Amar, he'll be looking to make amends with the ball. Nice little trot into the wicket, full on the off stump, driven comfortably by the batsman. Coming back for a second, good return there by the fielder. It is a sizably large ground here, not immediately apparent to the viewers, but lots of wide open spaces for the fielders to cover. Here the batsman's eyes lit up at that gentle one outside off stump, but the length just a little bit too good for the batsman to be able to swing his arms through. Praveen will be anxious to get move on. And that will only make him a bit more anxious, or albeit with a sense of relief that his role tonight is done, because he's been comprehensively castled by Amarendra Niwala on that occasion. 4 down for 22 now, GM.
Deep trouble now, GM. So 22 for 4 now. Praveen bowled by Amarendra for just 2. So things happening very quickly for General Motors.
Manish Khartare, the next man in for GM.
Oh, really? Already? Yeah, I guess.
Beaten outside the off stick. Manish, the new batsman. It's a good tight length and line by Amarendra. This time given a lot of room. Try to win through that gully region for a boundary. Manish off the mark with that boundary. 26 for 4 now. We're in the fourth over of the innings. GM losing too many wickets here. White call by the umpire. Good delivery from Amarendra, not giving any room for the batsman. Plays it back to the bowler.
And our new warrior will serve the 31st
So Abhilash Reddy continuing, considered just 8 runs in the first over, 5th over of the innings. Padanga, the man on strike. Ford captain taking no chances, having the fielders in their right positions, does not want to give anything away. Fall short of that wide-ish long on fielder, just 1 run.
Have to get a move on here, GM. 4 down for 28 in the 5th over. So good disciplined bowling there to start off with by the Ford bowlers. Those kind of deliveries will help the cause. Not so much that kind of delivery. Slightly short on leg stump and unfortunate for the batsman. This is going to be an interesting call because there was a puddle of water there down on the square leg boundary. The ball stopping right in the middle of it. The batsman probably a bit distraught at what could have been a certain boundary being stopped by the puddle of water there. Umpires inspecting the condition of the ball. I'm not quite sure what the call is going to be. No signal there by the umpire whatsoever, so it's just going to be the couple on the board for Manish Khartare and for GM. Dash will consider himself a bit lucky there. Much better delivery on that occasion. Hint of an appeal, but that one quite clearly going down the leg side.
Just a single down to long on.
That one probably is going to be signaled wide, and it is. Umpire Karthik. And a tidy over thus far from Abhilash. He'd do well to not concede any more freebies. And celebration by the keeper. Not quite sure whether that was stumped. Yes, that has been given out stumped. Oh dear, so Radhang Acharya was not quite sure of what happened on that occasion. Probably just wandered out of his crease for a moment, but Nikhil was alert to the situation, whipped the bails off in a flash, and half the side now back down for GM with the score on just 32. There was some debate as to whether the batsman would call for a review, but it was time out. Batsman probably took too much time there, debating whether to review that. Albeit what was there to review, I'm not quite sure. The umpire has the ability to try and check with the third umpire here. I'm not quite sure what one would achieve by asking a review for a stumping, which anyhow wasn't taken. Fruitful over from Abhilash comes to an end there as Amarendra Nuwala comes back into the attack to finish off his spell. Well bowled there by Amar. Slightly faster on that occasion, a bit more effort into that delivery. A wide delivery there from Amar. Well outside the wide line on the offside. Usually doesn't try too much there. Amar likes to keep it simple, nice, on the seam, straight in the channel. Full on that occasion, just a single down to long on. Brings the new batsman Arun to face his first delivery. GM just 34 on the board, half the side back in the hut, half the number of overs gone as well. Ford exercising quite tight control over the proceedings thus far. Singles are not going to get GM anywhere, and the batsman realizing that and going for a swing on the offside, but to no avail as the perfectly placed fielder there at the deep point boundary takes a comfortable catch. Yet another wicket goes down for General Motors. Manish Khartare, the batsman, out on that occasion. 35 for 6 GM and in deep trouble.
So well did catch there from Hardeep Singh. It pushes GM into much deeper trouble now. So 6 wickets down for just 35. So Ford now in driver's seat.
You see on the replay there, perfectly judged catch by the fielder. Hardeep Singh not making a mistake. Never easy to take those catches under lights, but Hardeep making absolutely no mistake on that occasion.
So the captain of Ford still taking no chances, adjusting field, every delivery.
Cuts that one away. Hardeep Singh doing the cleanup operations again. Adhyarth Vaidya off strike and off the mark with his first delivery. Dot ball there to finish off the over from Amar. Good over there again, productive over there for Ford Motor Company. Just the 4 off the over along with a wicket.
So Amrendra completes his spell, 2 for 11 of his 2 overs.
Ford looking firmly in the driver's seat at this point of time. GM find themselves in that awkward position of needing to score at an extremely fast clip but not having enough batsmen remaining. Heshwasan comes in to bowl the 7th over. Again following his tried and tested tactic of bowling wide off the off stump. The batsman not really moving much across there, just dangling the bat out. Slightly more effort there on that occasion. Got away there, Sahesh, one has to say. A little dart in to the batsman at the last moment, probably not allowing the batsman to free his arms. Dispatch that behind square. Well bowled again, down the ground for just a single. Adhyarth very keen to get back for a second, but Arun had decided by the time he was halfway through the first run that there wasn't a second in it. As that one has been played away into the leg side, Adhyarth again eager to get back for a second, but this time there genuinely probably wasn't a second in that one. Nicely sent back by the batsman. Excellent over this again so far. 2 dots, 2 singles. They're a good side for. They're an experienced side. They know how to win the big games. Change of pace there. Desperate plea by the batsman to the umpire. For a wide, but that one was well inside the wide line. Suresh is an intelligent bowler. He knows exactly how to bowl in these situations. Change in pace there again. And the batsman desperately looking for a big shot that hasn't come and doesn't seem to be coming anytime soon. End of the over, just 2 of it. Magnificent bowling there by Sahesh. Excellent spell from him. 2 overs, 13 for the 1 wicket. 6 for 38 GM.
So what a performance from Ford. So they have been maintaining this winning streak right throughout, right from the league stage, and then in the semi-finals, and now well placed to lift this first championship of this corporate cricket league. Have been in some
Ford, on the other hand, will be extremely pleased with their effort. They've won some big tournaments in the past involving corporate teams, and this first edition of the Corporate Cricket League being held this year, 2022, seems to be well in their kitty as well. .56 to get in just 3 overs for General Motors. Not a mathematical impossibility, but a very, very difficult proposition indeed. Fumble down there at long on, allowing the batsman to come back for a second. Raj Patel comes into the attack for Ford, and it's a measure of the depth of their bowling reserves, Arun, that a bowler of Raj's caliber is just now coming into the attack. Oh dear, that one was in the slot. Looks like it was good contact, but not quite good enough because it found the fielder, who promptly let the ball drop to the ground. So a bit of a relief for the batsman as he scampers back for a second. Adhyarth there, the one playing the shot. Sounded pretty good off the bat, but didn't nearly go as far as one would think. Slam down the ground. There should be a couple there. Batsman hurrying back. This could be tight, but the throw not very good enough. Extra effort there by Nikhil down at the batting end. Two each of the first 3 balls of this over. Raj Patel has a nice long run-up. Easy, simple action to watch. Usually a very hit the deck kind of ball. Raj Patel. Has to get the ball to nip off the seam of a good length. And oh dear, wild swing across the line. Bat not meeting ball and ball meeting stumps. So you miss, I hit. The strategy employed by Raj Patel and successfully coming off on that occasion as Adhyarth disconsolately makes his way back to the dugout. Tried to amp the initiative, but really there was only so much he could do at this stage of the innings.
What a sight that was. The off stick, uprooted and flying. The bowler's delight. You can see from the replay. Looks like going for a walk there.
Yes, always the ultimate joy for a fast bowler. Castling the batsman, sending the stumps cartwheeling.
So Raj Patel picks up his first wicket, had a good time with the bat. Now coming up good with the ball.
Fired in full on leg stump. Kuldeep Kalushe, the new batsman, just playing that one down to long on. Almost seems like the General Motors batsmen themselves have resigned to not making a push towards the target. Just the 3 wickets left. Ford very, very comfortable. And Amar comes in for a simple catch at mid-on. So it's really all academic now for Ford. 8 wickets down for General Motors, and Ford now, you have to say, are definitely scenting victory.
So the 8th wicket down for General Motors were just formalities to be completed by Ford to pick up this championship. Still Ford captain Nikhil not taking things easy, making sure that all the fielders are in the right places, trying to change fieldsman every delivery.
Yes, he's a perfectionist, Nikhil Kanchan. Never leaves anything to chance. Even when his side is sitting quite comfortable as Sandeep comes back into the attack. Good foot skills there by the fielder at backward point. The batsman to just a single. And Sandeep, I fear, is going to be a very, very difficult proposition for these two batsmen. Slammed down the ground into the vacant gap and will go for a consolation boundary there. So Kuldeep Kalushe getting into the act. Finally a GM batsman getting a shot off the middle of his bat and into the boundary for 4.
So 50 comes up for General Motors. There's still 44 runs to get in this final.
Beautiful shot there, again picks the gap beautifully, but then it doesn't really matter if it's a gap or not, because that one hit the fence on the full. So Kuldeep now showing some defiance on the part of the General Motors. 2 lusty blows there, one down the ground for a 4, and this one thumped over mid-wicket for a huge 6. Sandeep Sivam coming in for some punishment here, albeit might be a case of too little too late. better delivery on that occasion. Just a single, quick work there done by the fielder.
So Sandeep opened the bowling spell, picked up 2 wickets of the first over.
Down to long off for just a single by Akash to get off the mark. It's been a thoroughly dominating performance here by Ford tonight. As that one has been struck well again over long on for yet another 6. Jeez, where was Kuldeep? He should have come in at least 2 or 3 wickets earlier, don't you think, Karan?
Definitely. Coming at this late will not help their cause.
The GM batsmen have looked all at sea all evening, and here comes a guy just effortlessly tonking boundaries one after the other. The fact that Kuldeep is coming down so low in the order. Sandeep Sivaram coming in for some stick in that over. 18 or 19 actually off that over. Runs now required of this final over. Raj Patel steaming in. Excellent delivery there to start off with.
He's given out.
Oh dear, that's actually another stumping there. Nikhil Kanchan alert to the situation. Akash Nambudri, I am not quite sure what he was thinking on that occasion. Just wandered outside his crease and Nikhil just quickly ran up and uprooted the bails.
He wanted to go strike to Kuldeep.
You can't blame him for trying to give the strike to his hard-hitting partner.
And next batsman,
5 legal deliveries remaining in this innings. Each of them has to be a maximum for GM to pull the victory rabbit out of their hat. Sajid Sheikh, the new batsman, going well outside leg stump and then entreating with the umpire to signal a wide, which it definitely was not. Always has 200% belief in himself, Sajid Sheikh. But even that might not be enough on this occasion tonight. Driven into the covers, just a single.
This time Kuldeep gets a strike. But what he can do with the remaining 3 deliveries.
Ford just about reading GM their final rights in this match. Another single there. Scampers through for yet another single, and
That's the end of the innings.
Sajid actually sacrifices at the very end. He is the batsman run out as the players shake hands. So Ford Motor Company, having put in that comprehensive performance and gotten unbeaten throughout the tournament, are the champions of the Corporate Cricket League for 2022. They have been the best side in this competition by a fair margin, and they have absolutely stamped their authority here tonight at the Jimmy John's Field in Utica, Michigan. comprehensive performance in all aspects of the game, and Ford Motor Company deserving champions of the Corporate Cricket League for 2022.
So winning this match by 27 runs. So the champions of this corporate league, the first year of its edition. Congratulations to Ford. Good show put up by GM, but was not enough.
Yes, I think it's safe to say that the best team in the competition has ended up winning the trophy. The Ford basically ticked all boxes in all aspects of the game.
Thank you, Avinash. It's been nice getting this match live to the viewers. So please stay with us. We'll be coming with the award ceremony shortly. So please stay tuned.
Yes, absolutely, Arun. Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure doing commentary alongside you. And we've had some excellent facilities here at the Jimmy John Stadium. Excellent broadcasting facilities established here by the organizers. And it's been a real joy bringing this fast-paced game to all you viewers. We hope you've had as much fun watching it as we've had presenting it to you. And like my fellow commentator here mentioned, please don't go anywhere, because right now on screen you see that magnificent trophy being which will be presented to the champions shortly in the presentation ceremony. So please don't go anywhere.
Yeah, can there come a sleepover? It's your iPad. It's your iPad. You're the one who decided to get me in your hand. No. Get my monkey. Come on. I knew it was running. You got it. Where's the one? What happened? I'm hearing. Hey, dude. No. It happened before.
Which camera? I need Sai up here.
ఐదలు కూడా జరగమనవచ్చు
రాహుల్
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we do have.
నేను జిఎం టీమ్ ఫోకస్ చేయమని జిఎం టీమ్ రైట్ జిఎం టీమ్ ఫోకస్.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a list of revered guests that we would.
The guests and
Check. All right, we would like to invite Mr. Vijay Hadagali, the representing Lincode title sponsor from California, to say a few words.
Hello everyone. It was the contest between teams and betting things at the end, and the Lincode congratulates 14 for better performance.
At this time, I'd like to invite Mr. Jay Ahmed from Fortuna Realty to say a few words.
Hello everyone. Thank you CCL team, Akshay and Shaidu and the whole team for hosting such a wonderful cricket tournament in Minnesota. I believe it's the first time we've seen such a beautiful tournament in Michigan in a complete international setup. So myself and the cricketer of Michigan, I'd like to say thank you. It was an amazing job. I was part of this since day one. Akshay told me about this, and this is wonderful. And from this point, cricket will grow bigger and better in Michigan. And first of all, I'd like to say congratulations for the better team who played the tournament really well. And also congratulations GM for making it to the final and becoming a runner-up. So I'd like to say best of luck for the future tournament and best of luck CCL team from myself and Real Tour and Real team. Thank you so much.
Up next, I'd like to invite
USA U19 national selector and former
King. I guess. Yeah, just takes a couple feet of you and a team field. And once again,
Next, I'd like to invite she's the Executive Director for General Motors Vehicle Motion and Embedded Control Team, responsible for defining direction and managing the execution of design, development, integration, and release of all vehicle motion and embedded controls across GM's portfolio. J.M. Ankur served in the roles of Director of Battery Pack Engineering and Director of Software Engineering for Vehicle Machining Embedded Controls. I'd like to invite Ankur to say a few words.
Thank you very much. Long introduction. Thank you, but you're not here for me. We are here for the teams. And as I was driving up here, what came out in my mind was it is about time that in the corporate workplace we have started recognizing the value of play, and we wholeheartedly support our teams to pursue their interests outside of workplaces. And there's a good reason for that. It is said that human beings are built to play and built through play. It is when we play that we come alive and we express our creativity, our endurance, our teamwork, and whether we win or we lose, we practice and learn these skills. And these are critical for our life and our work, and we bring these back with us. So I feel very proud here to come and watch this match, watch these awesome teams play, and I want to congratulate to the 14 for well played, for an awesome game. I also want to congratulate the GM team for fighting till the end. Keep at it.
At this time, I'd like to invite Azar, the founding member of the Michigan Cricket Association, to say a few words.
Hello my friends, Team 4, Team 2, and the honored guests. Really, this final is very good. Basically, when we see cricket under the floodlights, we feel that in Michigan, it's a age has come where we need to have our own stadium and under the floodlights have this cricket regularly. So, as Michigan's Cricket Association member and also in various capacities, I will definitely work with the cities to get the ground, especially for cricket under floodlights. And thanks to Akshay and his team for doing a marvelous fantastic job. Thank you.
And our last guest, Akshay Sodagam, the Corporate Cricket League Commissioner, is going to say a few words.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for showing up and giving trust in us. Congratulations to Team 4. It was a professional performance. They were the team to be throughout the league stage. I believe they never had lost throughout the tournament. Then the team changed. I know they were in a spot of water when they started off. They needed to win 3-3. I mean, it's always pressure in those games, but phenomenal comeback. And then, great show in the semi-final and the final. Hard luck today, but I'm sure you will come back great next year. So I'd like to thank Lincode, the prime sponsor, would have been not possible without their support. And of course, Jubair, with R2M Reality, and all the support, all the teams have shown, giving trust again. This is a new thing that we have tried. Great support. I'm going to assure we're going to make it better, nicer next year. Thank you again.
All right, so those of you that are still left here in the audience, we now come to the business end of this presentation ceremony. First up, the man of the match in this final, and of course, a great, it is the person that performed that mattered the most, right? And that person, for his 45 runs and 2 wickets, is Raj Patel of Ford.
feeling is great. Winning is great. And this tournament was amazingly set up. We liked to play against the lights, and it was like quick. And yeah, it was truly professional. Congratulations to both the teams. But yeah, Ford has been playing as a unit, and yeah, and that's an amazing part of the journey before. And yeah, I always like to play with Ford, and I will always continue to play with Ford.
Lovely sentiment there. Thank you very much, Raj, and congratulations on a wonderful performance. Well, I should have let you go way too far, because you also happen to be the most valuable player of the Corporate Cricket League for 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, the best player of the tournament, Raj Patel from Ford Motor Company. You said some lovely words there. I really don't know how much more you can add, but there is an award for you, another award, and this time to present this, I call upon Amir Abdul hiding behind the trophy. Yes, after that, I have no doubt Ford will be desperate to repay your services next year as well. GM, you may want to try something surprising again. Next up, I'd like to call upon the captain of the runners-up, General Motors, right? Rahul Sharma, please, if you could have it up here. Not certain we have a trophy, but you have our deepest appreciation. But a few words from you. How was the experience out there? Obviously, probably a bit bummed at what is how it's transpired, but nevertheless, a good show.
Yeah, so first of all, it's kind of hard to resist the loss in the finals, right? But outside of that, it's been an amazing experience leading this wonderful group of guys who gave their all. And then the whole atmosphere there playing under the floodlights is always amazing. One thing I would like to say is that with this live streams, we can send the links back to our families 10,000 miles away. They wake up at 5 in the morning, watch us play, and truly a dream come true for somebody like me who has never seen people watching us. So amazing job, everybody. Congratulations to Ford. We are getting the corporate cup. Thank you.
Lovely words there, Rahul. Thank you so much. Our congratulations, but we are very sure General Motors is going to come back very strong next year. So good luck. Yes, that's the point that Rahul alluded to. The chance for us to play in front of a crowd on a stage like this, and with people watching all over the world, it's just magnificent, and it wouldn't be possible without the guys organizing this tournament and the generosity of sponsors like yourselves. So thank you so much. This is a childhood dream for all of us. So thank you for facilitating that. And on that note, I'd like to call upon Mr. Zuri here, who's graced this occasion, and we are very fortunate for that, to present this beautiful trophy to the winners, Ford Motor Company, and the captain, Nitin Kanchan, please, if you would come up. Yes, sir, please try and do your best. Oh, that was effortless. Absolutely, please do. Well, a couple of words from you first, and then I guess we can have the teams posing for the photograph. So Nikhil, well, this is probably, I don't even think you can count the number of trophies you won in your life, but you're definitely the most comprehensive team in this tournament. It's been an unbeaten run. So tell us a bit about how the experience has been. Obviously, it's been great, but some insights, if you will, on what makes you guys such an amazing team.
Before that, I just want to thank Akshay and Shaidu for putting this. It's no doubt the best professional setup in Michigan I've played under, and having the crowd and everything, under the lights, and all the crowd. My friends over there, they come to, thanks for staying, all you guys. We all really enjoyed it. Congrats to GM for making to the finals.
I can't say enough about my team. I don't know where to start from. I'm so proud of every one of them. The way we spoke about the unit. I mean, it's the Ford culture. I feel the one Ford culture we keep up every year.
No matter who comes in, who goes out, everyone's together every year, and that's what you want to. That's why I feel
we have been around. I can't thank enough for the commitment and effort. Thank you. Yeah, that's it from my side.
Thank you very much. Yes, they are indeed a wonderful bunch of players and led very well, may I say, by one of the most astute players and captains I've ever seen. I'm personally a fan of yours, so thank you. But congratulations, guys. Lovely performance. Congratulations to you guys. This is an amazing bunch of cricketers as well, and hopefully next year is going to be the year when you guys go 1 up and 4. Enjoy the night. You earned it. This has been a fantastic performance. Please do. And that very much is an end to the presentation ceremony. It's been lovely bringing this game to you guys. But before we sign off, we have Sai Vishwanath with a few words.
Thank you everyone. Thank you Sai, Nakshai and the CCL team. Thank you so much. I would like to take the opportunity and thank our sponsors, Spark, who is there behind us from the start. Thank you sir. Please come. You can take it. Thank you all for this, and thank you everybody. Thank you. Good job, GM. Thank you so much for congratulations. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much, Sai. And yes, at this point, a big thank you to all the organizers, the ground staff, the umpires, the match officials, and the guy that made it all possible. He's not here, he's hiding in the commentary box. Shai, thank you for putting on this wonderful show, and we'll see you all next year as well. Thank you.
Officials number?